Folks, the Warriors need a center. Right now, we have Trayce Jackson-Davis and Quinten Post. Quinten Post is a stretch five. Trayce Jackson-Davis is a center, but he's still young in the league, coming into his third year now, and not somebody who can play big body against Nikola Jokic, Rudy Gobert, probably not against Wemby. But there is a free agent. There is a player who may become a free agent on the open market we could get for cheap. It's somebody the Warriors have been linked to many times. His name, Nikola Vucevic. How? I'm going to break it down on this episode of Warriors Digest and talk about other centers who may still be on the open market. Slim pickings, folks. Like, subscribe to Warriors Digest. We break down all the Warriors news for you daily. Free agency, trades, rumors. Summer League is here, folks. We'll start talking about that and the young players and much more, and keep you updated on everything you need to know about the Warriors. All right. So per Evan Sidery, the Bulls have little luck in generating a trade market for Nikola. It's something they've been trying to get rid of him for a year. Trade deadline, Warriors were tied together. Obviously, we got Jimmy Butler. After demanding a first-round pick at the deadline, Chicago's market for the soon-to-be 35-year-old has dried up. Vucevic wants to finish his career on the contending team, so a buyout could be an option. Bulls ain't contending. They're going the opposite way. They're rebuilding. Warriors could be a good fit. If you look at his contract, $21 million. What just happened with Damian Lillard? They're waiving him, and they're extending his contract over many years. He gets all that money. A buyout might mean, hey, Nikola, we'll give you $10 million and cut you and give you a free agent. He's getting half the money, and maybe that means he'll sign for the veterans minimum, which is a couple $1,000,000, and he doesn't need to get a big chunk deal. He's going into the last year of his deal, $21 million, nice payday. Warriors, they could sign Kuminga for $20 million, then trade him, but you're getting 1 year rental on a 35-year-old center. Probably not a good idea, especially if the Bulls aren't giving up draft capital as well, or Josh Giddey, or Kobe White. But if he's going to be potentially waived or a buyout, then that means you could get him for cheap. Will that happen during the summer? Or does that happen potentially around the buyout deadline, trade deadline in the winter? Hopefully sooner rather than later. And folks, you may be surprised. His career earnings, folks, pretty astonishing. $192 million. NBA players, man. Almost $200 million in career earnings. So he's good with money. Hopefully he saved his money. I should not assume that. Oops. You look at his stats last year, again, on a team that really wasn't that good, he's been healthy. Besides for end of Orlando, beginning Chicago, he's playing close to 70, 80 games in his 30s. That's amazing, staying healthy. 18 points, rebounding, 10. Double last year on a crap team. At 6'10", 260, yes, he's not a 7-footer, but he's a big body the Warriors could use in the paint. Andrew Bogut type. He can get out behind the three, 40% from three. You look at how many threes he shot last game, folks, or last season. 120 out of 149. Sorry, I'm looking at free throw percentage right here. 129 out of 321. So he can be that stretch that you want. You look at his blocks per game, around 1, but he's getting you the rebounds. He's getting you a body. And we saw what he did against the Warriors in a couple games as well. You look at his efficiency, scoring efficiency, 1.3, the highest it's been of his whole career at 34 years old. Shooting efficiency, a bit higher than average as well. Actually, the best of his career. So he had a great year shooting. Warriors could really use this. I would be very down to get him on the buyout market. For a trade, probably not. But folks, comment your thoughts when you take this type of player, yes or no. The answer to me is yes. Because if you go to the free agency, let's go to centers. Here's the free agent centers who have all signed and what teams they've gone to. So you're getting Miles Turner, $26 million per year to the Bucks. Brook Lopez, potentially we were tied to, is with the Clippers. Clint Capella, out of his prime, going back to the Rockets. I talked maybe Wagner or Plumlee or Hayes. $3 million. So who's left on the market? Available. Al Horford, previous AAV, 10 million basically. And again, somebody we are potentially talking to. He's talking to us, the Lakers. Lakers just got Jackson Hayes, so I think maybe Horford's out then. Tristan Thompson, who's come in and out of retirement multiple times. Nice backup center, but not going to change the game for you. Taj Gibson, way out of his prime. DeAndre Jordan barely played with the Nuggets, but is a big body. Can get you some rebounds and a dunk here and there. Alex Lynn doesn't play much. Bull, I've seen people talk about. Not a lot out there center-wise. So if you can get Vucevic off the waivers, that would be big time. If you look at power forward, again, that's Warriors play power forward center. Dorian Finney-Smith was a name we talked about, is going to the Rockets. Who's available? Marvin Bagley III, former King, still only 26. Never really did what you would thought. Trey Lyles has done a nice job in his career, hitting his prime. Kuminga, restricted free agency. Precious Achua, played a bit with the Knicks. Markieff Morris, I think he's probably done at this point. Again, Bull I talked about. PJ Tucker at 40 now. The names have dwindled because we've been waiting on the Jonathan Kuminga era. Is it staying or is it over? So that's where I say, you know what? If you don't have to trade for him and he's getting paid via a waive or a buyout, this could be a pretty good option for the Warriors. And again, I want you to comment your thoughts and let me know. Because when you look here, there's not a lot going on. If we look at all positions available based off of contract value, Malcolm Brogdon is the player with the most money in his previous deal still available. But he ain't a center. Going down, Chris Paul, former Warrior, backup point guard. We did great with him. Our second team was really good with Chris Paul. We saw a deficit when he left. Obviously, we let him go. So maybe you bring him back. I know he wants to be closer to his family. Clippers reportedly want him back as well. Gary Payton II is still out there. They have a point guard. We know he's more of a defender. Warriors fans, we would love him back. I would love him back. I know that people say he's past his prime a bit. I've talked about Josh Giddey potentially in a trade for Kuminga. Maybe it's a win-win for both teams, like the Sabonis and the Halliburton trade. Russell Westbrook as a backup point guard. But again, we're talking guards, not centers. Not a lot out there center-wise. And that's why the Warriors either have to figure out in a trade or the buyout market, wave market, whatever you want to call it. So I want you to comment your thoughts. Let me know what you think, folks. And of course, Warriors fans, subscribe so you don't miss any news on Warriors Digest daily. We try to keep you updated on everything. We know that you have a lot of choices for news, or maybe you don't based off of where you live and where you're one spot. And we appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next episode.